Hi all, I'm K. Surya, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of ECE at SNS College of Technology. So in this lecture, let us discuss about the structure of the human eye, which is one of the most important topics in digital image processing. So before designing cameras or image processing algorithms, it is essential to understand how the human eye captures and interprets the images. So in many ways, the human eye serves as the inspiration for modern imaging systems. So when we strain our eyes with the bright light, our retina will get damaged. So we have to look at how can I focus the light accurately on the retina. So let us uh, begin with the overall structure of the human eye. So the human eye is almost spherical in shape with an average diameter of about 20 millimeters. Although it is small, it is an incredibly sophisticated optical system. The eye consists of three major layers: the outer layer, which includes the cornea and the sclera, the middle layer, known as the choroid, and the inner layer called the retina. Each of these layers performs a specific function to enable clear vision. First, let us understand the cornea and sclera. The cornea is the transparent front portion of the eye. It acts as the first optical lens and bends the incoming light towards the inside of the eye. Since it is transparent, light can easily pass through it. Surrounding the rest of the eye is the sclera. Commonly, it is known as the white part of the eye. It is strong and opaque, protecting the delicate inner structures and maintaining the shape of the eyeball. So next is the choroid layer. So the choroid is located beneath the sclera and contains a rich network of blood vessels. So these vessels supply oxygen and nutrients to the eye tissues. Another important feature is that the choroid contains dark pigments which absorb unwanted light. This prevents internal reflections and improves image quality. Similarly to the black coating inside professional cameras that reduces the glare. Next, we move forward to the iris and the pupil. The iris is the colored part of the eye. It controls the amount of light entering the eye by changing the size of the pupil, which is the opening at its center. In bright environments, the pupil becomes smaller to reduce the amount of incoming light. In dim environments, it expands to allow more light inside. So this automatic adjustment helps us see comfortably under different lighting conditions. Now let us look at the lens. So the lens is a transparent flexible structure suspended behind the iris. So it changes its shape with the help of tiny muscles, allowing us to focus on objects that are either near or far. This process is called accommodation. The lens also filters the harmful ultraviolet and infrared rays, protecting the retina from damage. The next important part is the retina. So the retina is the innermost layer of the eye and acts like the image sensor of a digital camera. When light passes through the optical components of the eye, it finally reaches the retina where it is converted into electrical signals. So these signals are then transmitted to the brain for interpretation. The retina contains two types of photoreceptors called the cones and the rods. Cones are responsible for color vision and fine detail. They function best in bright lighting conditions and are mainly concentrated at the center of the retina in a region called the fovea. Because of the cones, we are able to recognize colors, read the text, and observe fine details clearly. On the other hand, rods are much sensitive to low levels of light. They provide night vision and help us detect the movement, but they do not distinguish the colors. So, rods are spread across most of the retina, enabling us to see even under dim light conditions. Next is the fovea. Fovea is a tiny region located at the center of the retina and contains the highest concentration of the cones. Whenever we want to examine an object carefully, our eye muscles automatically move the eye so that the object's image falls exactly on the fovea. So this is why we naturally focus our attention on this region while reading or observing the details. Another interesting feature is the blind spot. The optic nerve carries visual information from the retina to the brain. At the point where the optic nerve exits the eye, there are no photoreceptors. This creates a small blind spot where the images cannot be detected. However, under normal conditions, our brain automatically fills in the missing information. So, we rarely notice this blind spot. The human eye also has excellent visual acuity. It can distinguish very fine details, but only up to a certain limit. Beyond the limit, the optical system naturally filters our higher spatial frequencies. So, this behavior is closely related to the sampling theorem, an important concept in digital image processing that explains how the continuous images can be represented digitally without long losing the information. So next one is the brightness adaptation. So the human eye can function over an extremely wide range of lighting conditions. Whether we move from a dark room into a bright sunlight or vice versa, our eyes gradually adjust their sensitivity. So this adaptation allows us to continue seeing effectively, although the adjustment takes a few moments. So now let us compare the human eye with the electronic imaging sensors. Modern digital cameras often have millions of pixels for exceeding the number of cone cells in the human eye. However, despite having fewer receptors, the human visual system performs exceptionally well because the brain intelligently interprets the pattern. So, fills missing information, recognizes the objects, and understands the context. So, this combination of the eye and the brain makes human vision highly efficient and serves as the foundation for many image processing techniques used today. So, to summarize, the human eye consists of several specified structures, including the cornea, sclera, choroid, iris, pupil, lens, retina, cones, rods, fovea, and optic nerve. Together, these components capture, focus, and process the light, enabling us to perceive the world around us. Understanding the structure and functioning of the human eye provides the basis of studying image acquisition, image enhancement, and computer vision in digital image processing. Thank you for watching this video.